Hello, Squirrel Tribe. So today is Tuesday, and we have a couple things we need to talk about. One of them being the thing that Target has just implemented. If y'all didn't like Target before, you're sure as shit not gonna like them now. We also need to talk about an explosion and what that can mean for the future of a lot of different things. We need to talk about the man who was arrested for smuggling stuff into the U.S. from Mexico, and we also need to talk about what the Supreme Court has just done in Texas. So we're just going to start with Target because that's where I'm parked at. Y'all can see the little logo right there. You got to do it for the algorithm, right? So Target, I don't know how often you guys go to Target, but Target, they have their own credit card. It's called the Red Card. And the perk to having a Target Red Card is that you save 5% on your purchases every time you use your Target Red Card. So if you spend $10, you save 5% if you charge it. If you spend $20, you save 5% if you charge it, right? It's a nice little perk for a lot of people to save that 5% on their purchases. Well, they also have a thing, I think it's called the Target Circle, if you will. And Target Circle, if you put in your phone number, it's a gimmick. It's a thing, like Winn-Dixie has theirs and Kroger has a card and everybody and their mama has some sort of gimmicky card, or enter your phone number here, email there for this coupon or this savings or this whatever, right? So Target has one called Target Circle, and a lot of times they do things like buy $15 worth of, cleaning supplies, get a $5 Target gift card. Buy 4 of these like health products or beauty products, whatever, get a $5 or $10 Target gift card. And those are really good deals, especially for people who rely on Target to buy a lot of their stuff. Like if they don't have a Walmart close by, or they don't like going to Walmarts because they don't want to do the job for them and do the self-checkout. Target still does have a lot of cashiers available, but there's a lot of people who use Target for a lot of the savings, right? And it's great. And if you have a Target Red Card, you've normally been able to, do online orders and pick it up at the store, get free delivery, things like that. Well, Target has decided that they want to be more like Amazon. They've gotten jealous that Amazon can charge a certain amount to get stuff delivered. And Target's like, you know what? I want to jump on board with this, charging for deliveries. Why should we be doing anything for free? Why should we, help our customers at all? So Target has now launched a paid membership program as it chases new revenue stream. Now, this article is off CNBC. There's the same thing being said on every single news source possible. This is just the first one that popped up, and I want to tell you guys about it because they launched it today. So Target today said it will launch a paid membership program next month. So starting in April, they will launch a paid membership, which is riffing off the playbook of its rivals Amazon and Walmart, because Walmart also has a paid membership, right? The subscription tier, which they will call Target Circle 360, will include unlimited free same-day delivery for orders over $35 in as little as 1 hour, with no delivery fees and 2 free day shipping, along with other perks. The company is looking at a wide range of potential benefits to sweeten the membership offer. This is according to Kara Sylvester. She is Target's Chief Guest Experience Officer, who announced the program at an investor event Tuesday in New York City, which is going on today in New York City. The paid membership tier will launch in early April. Now, initially, the cost is $49 a year, which doesn't sound awful, but it's still, they could do this for free, but might as well charge $49 a year. But then if you wait until after May 18th, it jumps up to $99 a year. It doubles in price. Consumers who have a Target Circle credit card will be able to pay the lower price of $49 per year beyond that. So if you don't have a Target credit card, you're going to be at $99 a year if you don't sign up between the beginning of April and May 18th. If you have a Target card, though, you're $49 throughout the entire year. So if you want to continue getting the perk of, the deliveries and things like that and whatever else they're going to offer, you got to pay for it. Now, when I see these things pop up, that says to me that they're also going to start taking things away. So those Target Circle savings we were just talking about, where that's like, spend 15, get a $5 gift card, blah, blah, blah. I can guarantee, I give it 6 months to a year, if even that long, before they say you have to also be part of the Target Circle 360, where you pay $49 a year to then be eligible to get these buy 3, get this gift card, buy 4, whatever. I guarantee you that's what's going to happen. So if you like Target, hopefully this doesn't change the way you think about it. If you didn't like Target, I'm sure this is not going to make you love them anymore or like them to begin with. So I just wanted to bring it to your attention. For those of you who are not aware of it, that is what is going on. Now, Another thing I want to talk about here, 19-year-old who was a quarter mile away. It doesn't seem that far, but you know, if you got to walk it, a quarter mile is a pretty good distance, right? A 19-year-old who was a quarter mile away from a fiery explosion was killed by a flying canister. So this is hard to see because you know how there's the glare at all times. But this was in Michigan. This unfortunately, this child, because a 19-year-old, in my opinion, is still a child, although technically, legally, they're an adult. They were struck in the head and killed by a canister that flew into the air from a blast. Now, butane containers caught fire Monday night at a vaping distributing company in Clinton Township, about 25 miles outside of Detroit. This is according to the Clinton Fire Department. The vape company had recently received a semi-load of butane containers, and over half of that was still at the facility as of Monday night. This is according, again, to officials. The company also had pallets of nitrous and lighter fluid and over 100,000 vape pens and lithium batteries inside. No, sorry, vape pens with lithium batteries inside. According to the township fire chief, Tim Duncan, he described this as a tremendous amount of fire. In my 25 years, this by far was the biggest one that I've ever seen. Which, I mean, look at that's the smoke from a vape fire. Like, that is absolutely crazy. It looks really East Palestine, Ohio-ish with the amount of like that mushroom cloud you got going there. They said that the blast shook cars that were 1 to 2 miles away. That's pretty severe for a vape distribution center, right? The blast sent debris, including blades, flying into the air. The debris field was likely a half mile in each direction. One firefighter was hurt from the blast when a piece of debris went through the windshield and clipped him on the side of his face, y'all. That firefighter has been treated and released. Look, it leveled this joker. It leveled the building in the area. I mean, that's pretty significant. That is actually very significant. The explosions prevented firefighters from reaching the fire immediately. This is according again to the fire chief. When officials did arrive on the scene, they found materials flying in all directions from the building. Now, they warned residents on Monday night that they cannot stress enough the danger that is happening right now. Please, please, please stay inside and out of the vicinity. Debris is being projected into the air and coming down as far as a mile away from the explosion. How does that work with your insurance? Like, if your car is just there minding its own car business and flying debris from an explosion comes and shatters your windshield, punctures a tire, goes through your hood of your car and, you know, destroys your engine, what does that go under for your insurance? Just out of curiosity, because I don't really know how that works. But what I find interesting in this, and I've said it probably 10 million times, so we'll make this 10 million and one. When things like this happen, I guarantee you there's somebody in Congress, somebody up in, you know, the governmental seats of something that are keeping tab of how often propane and butane and all these other things are exploding. So then they can say, hey, this is severe. This is dangerous to our citizens. We need to outlaw propane and butane and everything else. You already have cities and states that are making it so you can no longer have propane tanks. They're making it so that everybody's on the same, what are the words right now that I can't think of? Oh, y'all know I'm trying to say, like city gas and things like that, instead of having your own propane tanks and whatnot. You're going to see, in my personal opinion, especially when they're on this whole flipping ride about climate change and everything else, you're going to see soon that they are going to make it so you cannot get any of these things. Then on the flip side, it's the vape pens with the lithium batteries. Well, lithium batteries, we know they explode, and you can't exactly put them out the same way you can a regular explosion because water doesn't work. Hello, Tesla. So the next thing you know, you're going to see those being banned unless it's in your vehicle. It's going to be just an entire shit show as far as I'm concerned. Like, the whole thing is going to be awful. But I need to bring that to your attention because you just never know when, and this is horrible to say, you just never know what could transpire that will end your life or cause some sort of bodily harm. So this is just my random thing of tell people you love them and don't go to bed angry. Don't leave for work angry. Don't leave for school angry. Don't leave to run errands without, you know, talking to your significant other or your children. Just make sure people know how you feel and that you love them, because again, you just never know if you or they will make it home at the end of the day. I think it's a big deal that people talk about these things. Now, this one here, to me, y'all, this is on CNN. Man charged with smuggling greenhouse gases from Mexico into U.S. in first of a kind prosecution. Oh, so you're gonna prosecute a U.S. citizen for bringing in something from Mexico, but you're not going to prosecute Mexicans and whoever else from bringing themselves into the country. All right, I just want to make sure that we fully understand what our government's doing here. It says here, A California man was arrested and charged Monday with allegedly, because they got to say allegedly until he's found guilty, right? Smuggling potent planet-heating greenhouse gases from Mexico, marking the first such prosecution in the U.S., according to a statement from the U.S. Attorney's Office from the Southern District of Columbia. This guy, Michael Hart, 58-year-old guy from San Diego, pleaded not guilty to smuggling hydrofluorocarbons, or HFCs for short, commonly used in air conditioning and refrigeration, and selling them for profit in federal court hearing on Monday. I need y'all to hear that. Commonly used in air conditioning and refrigeration, but they're trying to say here that they are planet heating greenhouse gases. So they're going to outlaw air conditioning and refrigerators soon? Like, I'm real confused on how this works. So you can have them as long as you didn't bring them in from somebody else. As long as the U.S. supplies them, like, it's real confusing here. Let's see. Oh, so randomly it pulled up a completely different article. This is interesting. So I'm reading this one article about the man charged with smuggling in, right? And then out of nowhere, CNN pops up a whole brand new tab on here that says Biden administration to slash use of greenhouse gases used in refrigeration. What are the odds? That was on Thursday. Biden administration announced Thursday it will reduce the use of hydrofluorocarbons, the HFCs, the potent greenhouse gases that are used in air conditioning and refrigeration by 85% in the next 15 years. So they're going to reduce those while, according to them, the planet's getting hotter and we're having trouble cooling things down. They're going to reduce those so that your AC doesn't get as cold, your refrigerator doesn't get as cold. Like, what are we doing here? It says the administration will set caps on the production and import of HFCs, enforcing the limits and cracking down on illegal trade, while also investing $8 million over the next 5 years to find alternatives. So that's what it is. It's the fact that, let me go back to this original article. The fact that this man was able to go to Mexico, buy some, bring them in here, and sell them for profit is what the problem is. It's not because they're worried about our planet and everything else. They're worried about the fact that it's something that people here can turn around and use to make a profit and bypass, I guess, companies to do repairs on things, or I don't know, but you know how the government likes to dip every single finger they have into every single thing that's going on. According to this, Hart allegedly purchased the HFCs in Mexico and smuggled them into the U.S. in the back of his truck, concealed under a tarp and tools. He is then alleged to have sold them for a profit on sites including Facebook Marketplace and OfferUp. It is illegal, y'all. It is illegal to import certain refrigerants into the United States because of their documented and significantly greater contribution to climate change. That's it? That's the only reason why it's illegal to bring them in, because of climate change? Make any of this make sense? Not a damn word of this makes sense. I mean, no, none of it makes sense at all. HFCs, which are also used in building insulation, fire extinguishing systems, and aerosols, are banned from import into the U.S. without permission from the Environmental Protection Agency. Oh, good old EPA. What's his name? Michael Reagan, the guy from the EPA. We talked about him a whole lot when it came to East Palestine, Ohio, and the whole shit show that was going on over there last year. The illegal smuggling of hydrofluorocarbons, a highly potent greenhouse gas, undermines international efforts to combat climate change. How is bringing it in changing anything? Like, I guess because they're saying that they're trying to lower these things, so bringing it in is bringing in more than they want in here. Like, none of it makes sense, just so we're all fully aware. This is so incredibly stupid. But the fact that this man was arrested for it, so incredibly stupid. I'm going to put a link to this article at the end of this video so you guys can read it, because it's basically them talking out their butts and saying absolutely nothing at the exact same time. So incredibly stupid. They're saying HFCs are found in a range of appliances and other products, and they are thousands of times more potent than carbon dioxide is in terms of how intensely they warm the climate. Y'all, I feel like the farther we get in life, the farther we go in years, the dumber our government gets. And I know I'm not the only one who thinks that way. I know a lot of people think that way. I'm saying it for us, okay? I'm putting it out there for all of us. So they don't like the fact that it warms things up while it's cooling things down. So then what are we going to do? Are we going back to the days of cavemen where you catch and kill the thing you eat for the same day because there's no refrigerators? There's no, do we all just sweat it out every day because there's no more AC? Like, what is their long-term plan? Because the things that they're going to try to use in place of, like, let's say they get rid of HFCs and they're like, well, we can use blah, blah, blah to have less carbon footprint or whatever the BS thing they keep going with. How do we know that doesn't cause more cancer? How do we know that whatever it is they're going to go for doesn't mean destroying more of the earth to get these things, these precious whatevers, minerals, metals, whatever? How do we know? Y'all. It's really freaking annoying. That's all I know. Now, this last one here, it's kind of a big deal. Y'all are going to agree with this completely based off what's going on at the southern border, based off what we've talked about the last couple of days, based off what plenty of people are talking about right now. But the Supreme Court temporarily freezes implementation of Texas immigration law. So what had happened was Governor Greg Abbott decided that he wasn't going to wait for the Biden administration to get their heads out of their asses and grow a pair. He was going to step up and do what he could to ensure that if people tried to cross the border, especially in his state, they were going to pay the consequences. Because right now, the only people paying consequences for illegal immigration are U.S. citizens. So the Supreme Court on Monday temporarily froze enforcement of Texas's controversial, I don't see what's controversial personally, immigration law that allows state law enforcement to arrest and detain people they suspect of entering the country illegally. So there's the issue. Who they suspect. So they're going to say that it could come down to racial profiling. They're going to see anybody who has a darker hue on their person, like their skin's a little darker than mine or whatever else, and they're going to racially profile them and pull them over and say, hey, show me your documentation, show me that you're legal, whatever else. That's what they're worried about. Okay? Whatever. So according to this, Justice Samuel Alito issued the administrative hold, which will block the law from taking effect until March 13th. So that's like a week and some change away, right? That temporary pause will give the court additional time to review the case, but does not necessarily signal which way the court is leaning. Alito oversees the federal circuit that handled the case also. The Biden administration and several immigration groups filed an emergency application with the Supreme Court hours earlier, asking the justices to block enforcement of the law. Without intervention, the law would have gone into effect on the morning of March 10th. The Justice Department said it would profoundly alter the status quo that has existed between the United States and the states in context of immigration for almost 150 years. Now, Senate Bill 4, signed into law by Texas Governor Greg Abbott in December, immediately raised concerns among immigration advocates of increased racial profiling, as well as detentions and attempted deportations by state authorities in Texas, where Latinos represent 40% of the population. Last week, a federal judge in Austin, Texas, had blocked the state government from implementing the law. Let me just put it to you this way. I don't get upset if I get pulled over, if I'm doing something wrong and get pulled over. I don't get upset if they ask to see my driver's license and all that other stuff. I can see how if I was just walking down the street and some police officer or somebody ran up on me like, hey, prove you are who you are. I'd be like, the hell? Like, what are we doing right now? So I can understand where from the outside looking in, they are worried about it being a racial profiling kind of thing. But racial profiling isn't exactly new in this country. So it's going to happen no matter what. So making it a law that if they are in fact illegal, that you can then deport them, I don't see where the issue is. That's me personally. And there'll be people in the comments that are like, oh my gosh, it's because you're white. You don't understand. No, I get it. I fully understand. But I also understand that something has got to be done to stop the influx, the massive influx of people who do not belong in this country because they are coming in illegally. There's a big difference between doing things the right way and doing things the wrong way. If things were done the right way, we wouldn't be having this conversation. If things were done the right way, our country wouldn't be falling apart, crumbling from the inside, thanks to the Biden administration. But things are being done wrong. Things are being done illegally, and we, you and I, the U.S. citizens, are the ones paying the price for it, and it's getting really fucking old, okay? Okay. I say that as nicely as possible. Now, if allowed to proceed, SB 4 could open the door to each state passing its own version of immigration laws. This is according to Judge David Allen Ezra. You know when they use 3 names, that's normally a serial killer, right? Okay, so a federal appeals court over the weekend granted a temporary stay of the lower court's decision and said the law would take effect later this week if the Supreme Court did not act. Immigration enforcement is typically a federal responsibility, but some border states have increasingly sought to take action amid a surge in migrants in recent years. Migrants, illegal immigrants, whichever way you want to call it. On Monday, Arizona Governor Katie Hobbs, a Democrat, vetoed a bill advanced by Republicans in the state legislature that would have allowed police to arrest migrants. Again, our government doing everything to help everybody but us. It's really getting old, just so we're all fully aware. I think each state should have the ability. I mean, if each state has the right to determine who can, pro-life, no pro-life, abortions, no abortions, whatever else, then why is this any different? It may not sound the same, like you may think potato and tomato, like I'm comparing two different things, but at the end of the day, it's something that each state seems to feel differently about. So why is it something that if the federal government isn't going to actually do their job, why are states not allowed to do it for them? That's my question. I'm not in government. I don't understand how all this works. All I know is that from an outsider, a citizen of this country, I question the things that our government does and does not do. Doesn't matter who's in office. I question things all the time. You could be Democrat, Republican, liberal, whatever the hell else there is, independent, whatever. I'm going to question a lot of things because a lot of things I feel are not done for the good of the people. It's done for the good of corporations, because at the end of the day, corporations are what really keep this country moving, not the government, because the government's paid off by the corporations. It's this whole, give a little, get a little kind of thing. And you and I, the little guys, are the ones left in getting nothing. So that's how I feel about that, y'all. It is extremely windy here. The weather, again, we've talked about the weather a couple times. The weather has just been, it's been special lately. It has been really special. So it started raining last night, and then it was raining earlier today, and now it's so incredibly windy. It's like I keep expecting a house to drop down in the middle of the parking lot and then like a girl walk out with some ruby slippers and a little dog, and we're not in Kansas anymore, Toto. Like, it's that incredibly windy here. And there are talks of this being the most severe weather season for like storms and stuff, especially in the Gulf of Mexico, which is it's where I am. I don't really want severe storms headed my way personally. I don't want them headed anybody's way, actually, but that's what we've got going on. So for those of you who are curious about weather, watch Ryan Hall, y'all. I need to go check him out today. I haven't looked in a couple days, but he is generally who I'm going to trust over any other meteorologist. I feel like he knows his shit, number one, and he doesn't sugarcoat things, and he stays on top of what is actually happening. Not, well, it could rain, it might not rain, because I always said I should have been a meteorologist, because you can be wrong half the time and you still get paid. I don't know. It's one of those jobs. But anyway, the wind is picking up. I got to go grab some stuff. I hope you guys have a fabulous rest of your Tuesday, my dudes, and I will see you later. I want comments. I want comments in the comment section from you guys on everything we've talked about, from Target to the Supreme Court to exploding vape pens to smuggling in greenhouse gases and, Texas getting shot down on trying to arrest illegals. Like, I want to know everything you guys are thinking. So that is that. I will see you guys again tomorrow. Have a fabulous day, my dudes. I love you. Goodbye.